Eagle got something. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. So today I figured it would be a perfect time to unveil this new bass boat that I just bought. So this is a 1990 Gambler GT206 TE. I found it on Craigslist for $6,500, and to be honest with you guys, I could not be happier with this thing. Being a 30-year-old boat, it's obviously going to have, a lot of character. While it might need some cosmetic work, and some of you guys might look at this and think like, wow, that's a piece of junk, I am in love with this boat. I absolutely love it. It is giving me so much motivation. I had it out probably, 10 days in a row after I bought it.
Man. First fish of the year for me.
And I just love flying around on this thing and fishing off of it. It just gives you a bigger platform, and when you're not catching anything, it's fun driving it around. But I want to give you guys a full walkthrough on this boat. Show you all the components, all the storage, all that good stuff, and talk a little bit about it. So we're gonna start up here at the bow. This boat came with a Minn Kota Ultrex 112. Love it. Coming from the Motor Guide X5. I'm a big fan of that Motor Guide. I'd never used one prior to having the one on the John boat, but I've been using it heavily for the last 2.5 years, and it has given me zero issues. I think it's a great trolling motor, super powerful. Again, no issues with it over the last 2 years, which is like a huge thing for me. I don't want a product that is gonna keep me from fishing or be something that I'm always having to work on or fix. Just a huge pain in the ass. I wasn't sure what to expect with the Ultrex, and I have heard a lot of horror stories with them, but hopefully this one is gonna last me a while and not give me any problems. So it obviously has quite a few really cool capabilities, like the spot lock, obviously. And then it also comes with the remote. I've got that option as well. I don't really see any particular time that I'll be using the remote, but you never know. It's nice to have, and it came with it. So another really cool thing is if I decide to go with Humminbird graphs, I can link it to the graphs and tell it, I want to stay on this brake line and just drive me there. Still getting used to this thing. I'm constantly pressing the wrong side of the pedal because the Motor Guide has the button on the right and this one's on the left. Oops. But that's about it. Front of the boat, bunch of old switches. None of these work. They don't do anything, so need to figure out what to do there. But I do think it looks pretty cool. I really like the Gambler logo, and man, I keep pressing this thing. Switches and paneling and stuff. I think it's really cool, and I think it has a lot of character. The guy that I bought the boat from actually did the front deck in this hydro turf, which I've always wanted to try. Always wanted sea deck or hydro turf or whatever. I like it so far. I think it's pretty cool. It's also cushioned up here, which is real nice because I love fishing barefoot. And fishing on the carpet that's straight on the aluminum on the John boat all day barefoot, it'll hurt your feet and back after so long. But this is nice. It's super plushy and it's comfortable. Going back, we have a huge tackle compartment here. You can see I have everything very well organized. Everything's in its place, as you can see, as usual. Rod locker on the right, and this thing can hold probably 40 rods. Something else I really like about this locker is that it can hold an 8'6" swimbait rod, which is really nice. Got another rod locker over here on this side, not as big as the one on the right, but can probably hold another 10-15 rods in that one. I'll probably just use this left one for co-angler storage and extra stuff. The guy I bought the boat from also built this little deck extension, which is pretty cool. So originally this is what it looks like. The deck just goes boom, boom, boom like that, but he built that little extension and I've been leaving it in because I definitely don't want to hit this angle aluminum. I feel like that's going to be a disaster if I do that. Just completely cut myself up. You can see the console needs a little bit of love. Got some random gauges on here. Don't know what happened to that one. I've been using this as the GoPro mount. About half of the switches work. Bilge works, so that's good. Aerators work. Live wells work. Got to get the light situation fixed. I know it's getting power up to the front, but for whatever reason, the lights are not switching on. I don't know. That's definitely something also that I'm kind of toying with, is just completely rewiring this entire boat. I don't know if it was the previous owner or the owner before that, but they ran really good piping, like all the way up on both sides, so it'd be easy to fish wires through. I don't think that would be too difficult. Now, one of my favorite things about this boat is probably this giant bench seat. It's something that you don't see on a lot of boats anymore, it's just the giant bench seat, but I definitely like it. And people always comment on it. I think it's pretty dope. I probably will end up changing the color of this. So originally this boat had blue carpet that matched this color, but since the previous owner put the hydro turf in this like camo green black on the front, I took the back carpet off over the last 3 days and put it on so it matched. I was just tired of looking at like blue and camo, but now my girlfriend says that I'm full redneck and I have red, white, and blue and camo on the boat. So yeah, I've got a really cool idea of what I want to do with this boat. It's just going to take some time and money, but I've got a lot of inspiration for it. I'm going to be throwing a couple graphs up here. That's another thing. I had to take the windshield off the front. You guys can see it was going like along this. It was cracked, and this steering wheel is a little bit bigger than your standard steering wheel on a Gambler. So the crack on the windshield was like an inch above your hand, and it would just like nick your knuckles up real bad if you hit it. So I just took it off. But I'm thinking if I can get some sort of mount that goes where that windshield was and position a bigger graph here or two, it'll kind of act as a windshield and I can just do that. But just ideas, not 100% sure. Going to the back, you have two really big live wells here and here. This is actually a cooler. Oh, these things are kind of tight right now because I just put this stuff in, but a little dirty, just a little. It's all the old carpet and hydro turf, but big live wells on both sides. Also dirty, needs to be cleaned. And then you get the back. Look at this old light. How cool is that thing? Running 4 batteries. The Ultrex is a 36 volt, and then one for the outboard and all the electronics. I believe this is a 30-gallon tank, which is definitely needed because the outboard sucks that gas down. I definitely need to clean this bilge area. Probably end up taking the batteries and the gas tank out and just fully cleaning that whole back area. Also take a look at the bilge pump, make sure it looks okay. I might just replace it just to do it, so I know that it's good to go. Okay, here is definitely one complaint. I am not a fan of these Perco latches. They just break your fingers every time you try to open something that's even semi tough to open. It's old school though. I think that's actually originally what came on the boat 30 years ago. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I can remember Uncle Jack's boat, which is also like a 90 or 91. His old Ranger had these Perco latches. It's just there's no space. It's probably the only complaint I have. Last but not least, we've got the outboard. And power pole mount. So that was another selling point for me. It did at least have a power pole mount on there. So eventually I would like to buy one and throw it on the back. But Johnson 225 high output. This is like a 2000 motor. Absolutely rips. It sounds really good. It hasn't given me any issues yet. Knock on aluminum. I'm actually taking it to someone who specializes in fixing and just kind of maintaining these older two-strokes, and it was good. I talked to him a couple weeks ago and he said that they get 40 to 50 of these a year. Pretty cool setup what they got going on, actually. It's called Tiger Outboards. They're out towards Virginia Beach, I believe. They take these older two-strokes and just completely bring them back to life. So the guy runs like full diagnostics, like full health check on the motor, make sure everything's good, fixes everything that needs fixing, gets it running like top shelf, and then his wife does all of the cosmetic work on it. So she'll completely repaint them, make them look brand new. So I'm gonna take it over there, just see what they think about this motor, what it needs, and it definitely needs just general maintenance, because the guy that I bought it from said that he hadn't done anything to it in 3 years, and who knows when the last time this thing saw any new plugs or new impeller. I don't know. So I just want to make sure it'll last me for a little bit. But that's my boat. 20 foot 6 inches, runs about 70 miles an hour, and the prop doesn't look too great. Got a couple little dings in it, and again, the motor could probably use a tune-up. So who knows, maybe it'll hit 75. I mean, I don't need to be going that fast. Even fishing a tournament, like, I don't think I'll ever need to be going 70. But if I get like a good straightaway, deep enough water that I kind of understand, or, you know, I'm in a good channel, it's fun to open it up. I'm not gonna lie. It legitimately flies. When you have this thing fully trimmed up and you're doing 65 and then you just say, all right, let's send it, and you mash it, it lifts the bow to the point where you can literally feel just the outboard in the motor basically, and it's just barely going. Like right before it starts chine walking, just flying, literally flying. Oh, trying to think here. Oh, the graph did come with a Humminbird 899, but probably end up replacing this with something a little newer. I would like to go with some Garmin graphs, I think, for the front and for the console. Still not 100% sure yet, but I feel like that's probably the best route. So overall, 10 out of 10. I'm absolutely in love with this boat. I'm excited to see what we end up doing with this thing. It's given me a ton of motivation. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love fishing out of the John boat. I'm keeping the John boat. It's not going anywhere. I'm fishing every John boat tournament that I can, but there's just something about having this bigger boat. It's different, it's new. It might wear off, who knows? Might not, but I'm very happy to have it. I'm excited to like continue to work on it a little bit and kind of bring it back to life. It's just a lot of small cosmetic stuff, but as long as the outboard works, the trolling motor's good, I get some graphs going. You know, I don't want it to look like complete trash or anything, but I don't know. It's like when somebody buys an old car, you know, you want to drive it around, but you also want to work on it and kind of bring it back to life. Yeah, it's really cool to me. I really love this boat. And again, you know, I'm sure some people will look at it and be like, dude, that thing's kind of a piece of junk. I could honestly care less. Like, I freaking love this thing, and I'm so excited just to work on it and fish off of it and see what happens. But it's given me enough motivation to already kind of take a gamble on a really big tournament, which I guess I'll tell you guys about that. I'm going to be fishing the James River Open. It's a Bassmaster Open next month. So May 13th, 14th, 15th, I think it is. But that's why I'm out here on the James right now, doing a little bit of learning. I'm not even going to say practicing, because I have no idea what this place is like. And over the next month, you're going to be seeing a lot of videos of me fishing out here, because I would just like to at least give it 100% effort. I don't really expect to do well in it, but I definitely would like to try. So that's all I got for you guys. Don't have a name for this boat yet, so if you guys want to drop some comments down below, that'd be greatly appreciated. I'll pick the best one, or the one that I like most, and yeah. But I'm gonna get to fishing. Supposedly they start biting out here when the tide's dropping. I don't know. We got a lot to figure out, but please hit that subscribe button for me if you guys are not already subscribed. We'll see you on the next one.